Hi, and welcome to Underground Video Network's Behind the Counter. In this episode, we've got some geek movie news coming up. We got a couple comic book reviews and the latest on our convention news. So, stick around. Hi, and welcome back to Underground Video Network's Behind the Counter. I'm your host, Michael Boroff. With me to my right, your left, is my co-host, Richard Catterjohn.
Hello.
Hey, in this episode, we have got to talk about some of the biggest comic book movie news that has hit the internet since the Avengers.
It's been lighting up left and right.
It is, I'm sorry, I have to go there. It is the preview that has everybody hooked on a feeling. It is I'm sorry, that was so bad. That was so horrible, but I had to do it. I am obviously talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy. Rich?
Yeah, right off the bat. I don't know. I'm still kind of mixed on this, I know.
Really?
I'm still not set, because this isn't my Guardian of the Galaxy.
Okay, that's true. This is perfect because you have somebody like me who, over the years, I'm not going to try to play the bandwagon guy and say, oh, Guardians of the Galaxy, I've been with you. No, over the years, I've picked up a few issues here and there, and like I said, it wasn't my cup of tea. But Richard here, you've got a history with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I've basically read ever since the beginning.
There you go. So what was your take as a longtime fan of the
Ever since they relaunched them. This is the newer Guardians, which is cool. I've liked Rocket Raccoon, or Rocket, as they're calling him. They dropped the raccoon part. But, this probably will work. It looks like it's going to be more humor, which is good in the movie. It crosses over to a mainstream audience.
Right.
It's got a little touch of Star Wars. Mm-hmm. I mean, what more can you really ask? I mean, it's from Disney now.
Yes, exactly. I will say this, though. You want to talk about marketing strategy, stroke of genius, was, like I mentioned earlier, putting that song, Hooked on a Feeling, in a preview for a movie that you would not think has anything to do or the feel of that song was ridiculously brilliant, because I'm going to tell you what, I watched that preview for the first time and that song has been stuck in my head ever since, and I psychologically associate the two now. The song pops in my head, I think of the preview. And the bad thing is the preview to me was so good, I have to keep watching it. It just keeps getting better and better. I think part of the reason why I'm so looking forward to the movie, aside from the fact that it looks fantastic, was it is written and directed by James Gunn, who is one of my favorites.
That's the only reason I'm going to give this a chance, because I think it will work.
Exactly.
I really think it's going to work.
Exactly. If anybody who doesn't know the work of James Gunn, I got two. He has a great movie repertoire, but the two that I recommend, especially being a comic book feel to them, one is The Specials. You want to talk about obscure. The Special, starring Rob Lowe. Oh, it's about not even a D-level group of superheroes. We're talking like the bottom rung of the superhero chain, and what it's just like on a daily basis for these guys, and it's fantastic. And the other movie that I would totally recommend watching before watching Guardians of the Galaxy to get the feel of what you're going to be in for is Slither.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love Slither. If you get a chance to, it stars the shiniest captain in the verse, Nathan Fillion. That was the reason why I watched it. The movie being awesome is why I rewatch it like once a month. It is fantastic. Get a chance to go check that out. So, aside from being not, the Guardians of the Galaxy you're used to, I mean, just separating yourself, what did you feel about the preview itself?
I think they're playing off Star Wars a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely.
In a good way.
Good way.
Not the prequels. No. Not the Star Wars prequels feel. The good Star Wars.
Yeah, because I like the one part where he goes, "Who do you think you are, Star-Lord?"
Yeah.
He just that. He's bigger than life, but yet he's not.
Right.
He's not
bigger than he thinks he is.
Yeah.
I love that. And Chris Pratt. God, man, I've been a big fan of his since Parks and Rec, and when I heard he was cast, I was like, oh yeah. Just as soon as I heard that he was announced as Star-Lord, it was like I knew right away what the feel of the movie was going to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, definitely one we're going to be looking forward to.
And the CG looks great.
Oh, it does. Dude, sweet God, yes. And we got other comic book news.
There's been slipped of maybe what's going to happen with the Fantastic Four casting. We got it on our Facebook page. Go to Hollywood Reporter. They got some reliable information, hopefully. And they're talking about what could happen. And to me, I hope they just stick with the essence of Fantastic Four. I'm a
Right.
diehard Fantastic Four. I've been reading it ever since 115. So I know my Fantastic Four, and
Yes.
I'm kind of be upset, but at the same time, if they just take the essence, it's a family. If they
Right.
keep that in place, I mean, to me, it's just like adventurers.
I remember the one thing I read about that topic was the one person was quoted as saying the origins of the Fantastic Four that you're used to in the comic books just won't play in a movie.
Yeah, I know that's what they keep saying. But they just can't get it right.
They just can't get it right.
Even though Roger Corman came close, but that's beside the point.
And
He just didn't have special effects.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm one of those few peoples where I don't hate the Fantastic Four movies that have come out recently. I liked them for what they were. They were entertaining. Were they anywhere near like the Avengers level quality or the Spider-Man quality? No, but they were enjoyable, and to me at least, they kept the feel.
Yeah, the original a little bit.
The original, yes, the dynamic of the family. Each character kind of stayed true to the personality that they had in the comic books. The detached genius,
Right,
the hothead, and
but it's hard to keep that going because you gotta imagine going out and doing things. All they did is just stayed in the Baxter Building.
This is true, yeah.
In the sequel, and some of the other
True.
stuff, it just didn't quite work to me. Even though they
Right.
went over to China at the end when they
Yeah.
wound up fighting the Galactus.
yeah, true. Yeah.
But no, it all worked out. But like I said, if they go out, do adventures, pop into different places. You got the Savage Land you could pop into.
Yes.
You could have dinosaurs running around, or you could go to other planets, which is what they've done for a while.
That is what
go exploring, do what they need to do.
Exactly. That is what I wanted to. That is what I want to see, because I've read Fantastic Four for a long time, not as long as this guy, but I've read Fantastic Four for a long time, and they were always the first family of adventure.
Right.
They were the ones that made the rocket ship that went out into the universe and explored, and
And then got hit with cosmic rays.
and got hit, even after that, they
Oh, yeah,
they
they
didn't
took
just
off.
settle, for being adventurers here
Well,
on
the newest
Earth.
run was like a Lost in Space. They're going off and going in space.
Yes, I love that arc.
It'd be funny to throw Victor Von Doom on board and be just lost in space.
Yes, that would be. So yeah, I have to say.
Herbie,
Oh God, he's bringing up Herbie, which they've tried to bring back a Herbie here, and maybe it's because I remember
The
Herbie,
cartoon.
and I remember the cartoon. Yes, they couldn't get, for anybody who's not old enough to remember the Fantastic Four cartoon.
Well, no, they know Herbie because of the new stuff.
Well, the new stuff, but what I remember him from was the old cartoon where, what was it? They couldn't get the rights to use.
No, the Human Torch was fire. And
Yes.
they couldn't get it past the censor boards.
That's right.
Because they didn't want kids going out and catching themselves on fire.
So
Because
they-
they thought kids during the 80s would go out and catch themselves on fire.
Yes. Meanwhile, I'm over here watching Looney Tunes where saves and anvils are being dropped on your head, and that's okay. But you're afraid some kid's going to light himself on fire. But yes, the Human Torch was replaced by this god-awful little Herbie robot. Oh, that's my memories of Herbie. But yeah, stay tuned. We'll let you know more about the Fantastic Four news as we hear it. But I'm going to be honest with you, from what I've heard so far, nothing has piqued my interest. I want a good Fantastic Four movie. I need a good Fantastic Four movie, and so far they just haven't.
I think they can make it work, though.
I hope
If they
so.
go this direction. If they keep it adventure, playful, and
Yes.
make it the family ordinate. Who cares who's in the cast?
Exactly. Yeah, we're not even going to go into that because I don't care about that. I just, man, I don't know. Maybe the old movies still have a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth, and then it's too soon. It's too soon. And finally, to bookend our movie news, hopefully everybody's seen it so far. It's the new spot for the Captain America movie.
Right. I just think it's fanboy ploy myself, but
What, pray tell, are you talking about there, Richard? And if you haven't seen it yet, spoiler,
Watch it
because
now.
watch it. Pause. We'll wait. It's only 30 seconds. We'll wait.
okay.
Okay, you're back. Okay. Yeah, those few little words. Fury's last words.
Yep.
Really? You think? What do you think?
Just a ploy.
You think?
I just think it's play. Editing for movies all the time. They pull stuff out and sometimes don't even in the movie.
Actually, you know what? I didn't even really think about that. You're absolutely
I've seen
right.
some trailers that were better than the movie itself.
Oh,
so, you know.
yes, exactly. And God only knows, we don't know because, like you said, the way they edit trailers, that
That could be totally out of context.
could be totally out of context. That could be within the first 5 minutes of the movie,
I mean, you kind of see him flipping over with the car because the Winter Storm shoots
Winter Soldier.
shoots underneath,
Yeah.
catch and flips over. So who knows?
And the thing about it is, though, it's like
we had Coulson.
we
go
had,
back.
we had Coulson come back. Which, side note, God, I was not the big. Okay, wait, we'll go in the Shield on that. But yeah, if there's anything us diehard comic book fans know, nobody stays dead.
Not
And
even Bucky. There's no Bucky dead anymore.
No, especially
Especially after this movie.
Yes. Uncle Ben so far, as far as I know.
Yeah, he's in dream states, but
Flashbacks and dream
hey,
states.
you never know. Amazing Spider-Man #1's coming out.
Which, side note, I am looking forward to that. We predict, go back and.
Summer movie, Amazing Spider-Man #2. We have to have Peter Parker back in the Spider-Man's body.
Yeah.
We said that. It's going to happen. Everybody said that.
Totally called it. I knew, and I will stick to my guns, and I will let you people know that from the moment that Doc Ock took over that costume, I have not bought one single issue. Breaks my heart. But
It's a good read, though.
I can't do it.
I know.
Just because Peter's Spider-Man is one of those books that I don't read it for Spider-Man. I don't read it for his villains. I always read Spider-Man for Peter Parker.
No.
But yeah, everybody called it. But yeah, like we said, nobody stays dead. So even if Nick Fury in the movie is quote unquote dead,
I thought he had a contract deal to be in other ones. But,
I'm sure. Well, it could be flashbacks though, like
That's
you
true.
said,
Yeah.
or.
Who
But
knows?
anyways, yeah, that news, just that one little line right there sent the internet a buzz from the latest Captain America trailer, which continues to impress me. I am very much looking forward.
April 4th can't get here any faster.
Amen. Oh man, yes, definitely looking
And it's
forward to
tying
that
into
one.
the Shield series.
Okay, let's go. Wait, just real quick. Shield, getting better. Here's our official review of Shield thus far. Getting better.
Getting better.
Getting better.
Deathlock was a good improvement.
Yes, definitely. And the idea of the clairvoyant, people are already speculating who the clairvoyant is going to be, even if it is somebody in comic book canon.
Yeah.
One of the most far-fetched ones I heard was they're thinking it's going to be MODOK. Because with his, cranium brain powers, stuff like that. But
Who
yeah,
knows?
S.H.I.E.L.D. has definitely gotten better.
I still don't like the term centipede for the name of the outfit.
That is a little weird.
I know it's supposed to be break off apart, it continues on, but
That is still a little, yeah. And just, I think both of us being hip to pop culture, we won't say why, but I think knowing we know about indie movies, just the word centipede brings bad.
still
But yeah,
think of
it's definitely gotten better, and I do like and I do respect the way that they are able to tie the show into the movies.
right. I mean, Thor worked great.
It was seamless. It was almost creepy seamless because you think between a time of, they have to be on the ball because it's like they know, okay, here's when the movie hits, here's when the movie's coming out on DVD. We can mention this, we can mention that. And I like that the way they do it. They subtly mention it without being in your face.
Yeah, because the movie hit the theaters. A couple
Yes.
weeks later, it was on the show.
Yeah.
DVD's coming out. Sif's going to be on.
Yes.
I know it's good marketing, but
They mention the movies so matter-of-factly and so casual, like it's a part of their everyday world.
Asgardians,
Yes,
know.
and it's not like Thor. We know Thor. Have you met Thor? I've seen Thor. No, it's very. It's like, oh yeah, Asgardians. Yeah.
And then the references the Cap all the time.
Oh yeah.
But it's not referenced the Cap. That's the way I like it.
Exactly. Yes. I would still like, and I know it's probably never going to happen, but I want to see one day. I want to see what happens when the Avengers find out Coulson's still alive.
So, yeah, it'll probably happen.
I hope so. I really do. Speaking of Coulson being alive, am I the biggest fan of the way they said they brought him back?
Oh.
Creepy, but not what I was hoping for. And it almost seemed kind of like forced. It was almost like, okay, let's think about
But is that really what happened? You never know.
interesting point, my friend. Memories are, I mean, they've already messed with his memory so much.
Yeah.
Who's to
knows?
say this isn't a layer on top of a layer? It's Inception. It's Avengers Inception.
Oh,
But yeah, still the show's getting better. The only complaint I wouldn't say the only. The biggest complaint I have about Shield so far is, damn it, you're underutilizing Coulson. We've seen many times in like the little featurettes. Coulson is
Oh, yeah.
badass. He will take down a half a dozen guys with his bare hands. Let's see it in the show. Let's see it in the show. You know.
yeah. I think he needs to be. He's the leader, so that's why. You
He's
know,
a leader,
that's-
but that doesn't mean
I know.
Captain America's leader of the Avengers, but it doesn't stop him throwing a shield and kicking little ass. I want to see Coulson. I want to see what happens when somebody touches Lola. There it is, right there. I want to see a bad guy. Hey, nice car. Pow!
Sounds like a DVD little mini movie.
There you go. The title of it, he touched Lola. He touched Lola.
No,
That doesn't work. You know, but yeah. Real quick impromptu little review. Yeah, Shield will keep watching. Fingers crossed it continues to improve. Time for comic book reviews. You know, we talk so much about pulp culture stuff, you know, sometimes we forget that the show started off as a comic review show.
Correct.
Hence, you know, behind the counter, because at one time, we
Yeah.
had a counter.
If Peanut and D-Boy ever read the comics, though.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Here's this comic, and there were episodes where like I remember a couple of them where it was like Peanut. The entire episode was Peanut reading the comic book, and then talking about it. So give me a minute. Oh, that's good stuff, you know. But yeah, let's
Okay.
bring. You know, we're trying to bring back the comic book reviews. The first one for me, for both of us here, is the relaunch of the She-Hulk.
Yeah. I love the art.
The art was fantastic. I got to go through the book on this one. It was written by Charles Soule,
Okay.
and the art is Javier Piloto.
I think.
I think. God, what is it? All of my reviews are going to have really bad names, but yeah, She-Hulk #1 was a great read.
Oh, definitely.
It was. I was a fan of the earlier solo book of
The John
She-Hulk.
Byrne one?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it
That's not the early one.
well, not the early one. The latest.
John Byrne.
Exactly, the John Byrne was the same reason why I liked it is the same reason why I
Because it broke
liked
through the third wall.
that. Yes, and it was also it reminded me a lot of the Power Girl solo run before the New 52, where it was entertaining.
Right.
It didn't take itself too seriously. It was tongue in cheek, you know. In the like JLA books, badass. In her book, funnier than crap. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what I liked about this one right here. It has a lot of that recent Hawkeye solo feel,
Right.
where it's street level stories. This is her daily, day-to-day life.
Right.
You know, not the big, you know, end of the world.
Well, yeah, she's just coming off of FF. You know,
Yeah.
she did a little bit with stint there, so.
Yes. Much like the Hawkeye solo book right now, this is about the character. You know, this is about Jennifer Walter. This
Right.
is a great book. If you get a chance to pick this up, if you're a fan of good storytelling, I like this one because
Especially her wordplay with Tony Stark.
oh, in this issue alone, the interaction between Jennifer,
Right.
not the She-Hulk, Jennifer the lawyer, and Tony Stark.
Because it's not Iron Man She-Hulk. It's
No, it's
them.
Tony Stark. Was brilliant and priceless. And as you're reading it, you think, this is how this conversation would play out. So definitely check out She-Hulk #1. Marvel liked it a lot. Second review for me is something that I have been waiting for a long time. Serenity. Firefly class leaves on the wind. This story picks up right after Serenity the movie. And if you've ever watched the show or you know me, you know that I love Firefly. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't think that after that movie ended, we were going to see a continuation. You almost didn't want to see a continuation. You think to yourself, how could you go on with this story? You know,
They wrapped it up so good.
they wrapped it up so good. You know, spoiler alert, but Wash dies, Book dies. It's like, where do you go? They did it. This right here, because for anybody who's watched the movie Serenity, you know that they really shuck up the verse. And this book right here is the aftermath, and it is fantastic. It reading it is, first of all, know that one of the writers in it is Zach Whedon, so it is still in the family. You know what I mean? It is in proper hands, and it has that feel to it. As you read it, you hear the dialogue, you hear the actors, you know, all the words coming from their mouths make sense. You know, this is that character, and everybody's doing what you pretty much think they would be doing after the events of Serenity, and it was a definite recommend. If you like the movie, like the show, right here, Leaves on a Wind. Just the title alone. Leaves on a Wind. I'm gonna be all right. Definitely worth it. A review for me. I don't know if you've read this.
I have not read that.
Is The Bunker by Oni Press. This book right here, to me, symbolizes why comic book stores are still important. You know, the non-digital. I know we go back and forth on the digital thing, but this book right here is a perfect example why I believe comic book stores will never go out of style, because I would never have read this book. There are hundreds of books on the wall that I completely glimpse over. But like we said before, we are here at Alter Ego Comic Books in Lima, Ohio. This is my second home. These people know me so well. I can sit and have conversation, but they know me so well that maybe once or twice a year when my dad comes in for like Christmas or birthdays, they know him. Like, oh, hey, you're Mike's dad. This is what Mike wants. And he gets it, and they nail it. But this is one of those perfect examples where the guys behind the counter were like, you liked Lost. I'm like, yeah, I liked Lost. You know, it was a great show. You need to check this one out. Believe me. And it was one of those ones where, you know, they weren't being pushy. You know, they're not salesmen. They were talking to me as people. You like this. You like this. So I took them up on it, and I read it. And God damn if I didn't really like it. This is a fantastic book. I don't want to downplay it by saying if, you know, you like Lost, you're going to like this book, but it has that same, not islandy feel, but that mystery and what's going to happen, and there's flashbacks. It's basically the story of some college friends just before graduation who get together and decide that they want to make a time capsule. So in 20 years they can pull, I love this line from the book, so they can pull a big chill, come back and see where they are. The problem is when they dig a hole to put the time capsule in, they come across the bunker, which would be strange enough, but the bunker has all of their names on it. And it turns out that the bunker is filled with newspaper clips, videos from them of the future, telling a story about how the actions that they're taking now in the future will lead to Armageddon, just almost the end of the world, and how and why it has to happen. And it's like Lost in that they did okay, let's rephrase this. Lost seasons 1 and 2. Where the flashbacks were done right. This is how this book reads. And you read these people, and some of them, even seeing the evidence in front of them, don't believe. A couple of them believe so much because things are said that only they know, and they know it has to be them. And it's not even just about what they're possibly going to, you know, cause, or, you know, the havoc they're going to wreak, but the interaction of the characters with each other then and there is very dramatic, and is a very good read. My suggestion, go to your comic book stores. The Bunker by Oni Press. Look at me. I'm reviewing a book that's not by Marvel or DC. Ooh. I know, Oni Press. Look at me branching out, you know. But yeah, oh, man, fantastic read. Definitely check that out. Rich, anything else to add before we take off?
No, we got some comic book conventions coming up, as always.
Yes.
We've been out and around already. We had one last month that we covered, or actually still this month.
I would like to apologize. One of the first cons of the year was the ICE Independent Creators Expo in Dayton, Ohio. I was looking forward to it so much. Ironically, I couldn't attend ICE because of some ice. First of all, if you're watching this show and you were at ICE, some of our friends were down there, thank you so much. Because when news got around of why I couldn't be there, my Facebook page was aflutter with, is everything okay? Are you all right? And that is another, God, let me emphasize this. This is another reason why when it comes to comic book conventions, we love the small. You know, we love the indie, we love the smaller books, because over the years we have grown to become true friends with some completely fantastic people. And I mean, these are the people who, like you said, or like I said, when everybody thought something was wrong, was at the convention tweeting me and texting me and like, "Are you all right? I heard, you know." It's like, yes. But no, I didn't get to attend ICE. I apologize. I wanted to be there. I saw pictures. I missed a hell of a time. I know I did, but
Check our UVN Spotlight series. We've got a bunch of spotlights on some of the creators that were there.
yes.
And like I said, convention season's hitting off. Actually, next weekend on March the 2nd is Buckeye Comic Con, which is a great small little comic convention in Columbus, Ohio. It has some great dealers, some great deal on comics. If you're just buy comics, this is the one to go to.
See, for me, the smaller cons are always the ones I like to buy comic books at. Because when I go to the bigger ones, I'm one of these people where I almost have to stay away from like the bargain bins because I will be there all day. You got guys over here standing in line for 4 hours to get this person's autograph. I'm hitting the books for 4 hours. And that's pretty
And I'm trying to get him to come out to do some interviews, you know?
I know. It's like, Mike, it's like, wait a minute, I don't know if I have this issue or not. I'm gonna buy it just in case I don't. That's why I like the smaller ones, because you can hit everybody, make good, real connections, and then spend 4 hours looking in the back issues.
And then coming up on March the 23rd is a great independent creator convention, sort of. DanCon, our good
DanCon,
friend,
yes.
Decapitated Dan. He throws this convention. You can catch his podcast on our website.
Yep.
But this is a great con. We've been trying to go to this for 3 years now, I think. And every single time this comes up, we can't make it.
I know, yeah.
Or I should say the 3 conventions that we tried to go. Because last year we just couldn't do it. And this year, of course.
DanCon for both of us is like spaced for me. I want to go. I want to go. I'm going. I'm in the... What's going on? What's happening? I can't go. Oh, you know what I mean? It's like you think about it all year. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. And then like the weekend before, the day before, something just comes up. That's honest to God, Dan, if you're watching this, man, we want to come. You're fantastic. It's just... I get scared about the weekends you put up DanCon because that's usually when some crap happens to me and I can't leave the house or the city or the state. It's like, DanCon's coming? Crap. Lock the door. Turn off the news. Turn off everything. I can't leave the house, you know. But if you get the chance to, DanCon, go check it out. You will not be disappointed.
And if you can't get out to any of the cons around, go to our brand new updated convention and event page. I've got new links on there to all the video footage that we've shot before at different conventions. It's not all there yet. I should apologize. I'm not quite done, but
That's a lot to go
it
through.
is live. I have all our footage from Gem City, Space, Derby City, Detroit Fan Fair, events at Pack Rat Comics, and some other ones are going up even probably as you watch this because I'll probably be working. So.
It's a lot to take in. Not only is it a lot to take in, but we still have lots in store for you. We've just scratched the surface of 2014. So you have more than enough reasons to come back and check out the show.